Students, let's continue with human circulatory system.
Students, in the previous video, we studied about blood and blood vessels. Now the last component of the circulatory system is heart. It is fist-sized muscular organ which is placed in the center of chest cavity, slightly tilted towards the left, well protected in the rib cage. Now to understand the position of heart, I've just drawn a rough diagram. This is trachea and these are lungs. Heart is placed somewhat like this. Its apex, its lower end is slightly tilted towards the left. These are the ribs. It is placed behind this shield-shaped bone that is known as sternum. It weighs less than half kilograms and it pumps out 5 liters of blood every minute. Heart is made up of special muscles called as cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles are involuntary muscles. That is, they do not work under our wish. They never get tired and keep on pumping blood throughout the entire life without rest. Now we'll study the structure of heart. As I've told you, the heart is fist shape and fist sized. This is a fist. The heart is just like this in shape. When we cut open the heart, it looks like this. Heart have 4 chambers, 2 atrium and 2 ventricles. Atrium are placed up on the upper side and ventricles on the lower side. There are valves present between atrium and the ventricle on both the side. These valves close during the relaxation of heart and they don't allow the backflow of the blood. So these valves prevent the mixing of deoxygenated and oxygenated blood. Also, the right side of heart is completely separated from left side of the heart. So there is no mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Now what are the main other features of heart? There are 2 vena cavas, one superior vena cava and one inferior vena cava. These 2 brings the deoxygenated blood from the entire body, superior vena cava from the upper half of the body and inferior vena cava from the lower half of the body into the right atrium. When the heart relaxes, blood flows into the atrium. When the atrium comes under contraction, the blood is pushed into the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the heart is taken by the pulmonary artery. Now this is pulmonary artery. This pulmonary artery carries the deoxygenated blood to lungs. In the lungs, the gaseous exchange takes place. The deoxygenated blood, which is rich in carbon dioxide, releases carbon dioxide and oxygen enters the blood. Now these pulmonary veins on both the side bring the oxygenated blood into the left atrium. From the left atrium, the blood is pumped into left ventricle. From left ventricle, it is carried through this aorta to rest of the body. Now this aorta gives off 3 branches. These 2 branches carry the blood to the arm region, this carried to head and neck region, and then it arches down behind the heart and supplies the lower part of body. This is the whole picture of heart. You have to practice this diagram. Now I'll show you the model of heart. Now this is the cut section of heart. This is right auricle. This is superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. This is right ventricle. These are bicuspid valves, and here in the left side we have tricuspid valve. This is pulmonary artery. These are pulmonary veins. They bring back the oxygenated blood into the left atrium. From here the blood enters left ventricle, and through this aorta it is distributed throughout the body. One thing more, the walls of the right ventricle are thinner as compared to the walls of left ventricle, because from here the blood has to be pushed to lungs only, and from here the blood has to be pumped to the rest of the body. So this left ventricle has to apply more pressure, so it is more muscular as compared to the right ventricle. Now our heart acts as a pump and circulates the blood throughout the body. When the heart cardiac muscles relax, blood flows from rest of the body into the heart, and when they contract, the blood is pumped out of the heart. There are two parts of the cardiac cycle. It consists of a systole when the heart muscles are in contracted stage, and a diastole when the heart muscles are in relaxed stage. One systole and one diastole make a cardiac cycle. Our heart beats approximately 60 to 70 times per minute, but if we do vigorous activities like exercise, our heart rate increases. Or if we are under stressful condition, then also our heart rate increases. This is because of the increased oxygen demand of the body. As the heart pumps more vigorously, it gives out blood with more pressure, and it compensates with the oxygen demand of the body. Now, how the blood circulation occurs? This is the diagrammatic representation of our heart and the transportation of gases. From right atrium through IVC and inferior and superior vena cava, all of the impure blood is carried to right atrium, from there to right ventricle, then to lungs. In lungs, carbon dioxide is given out and oxygen is taken in. Now the pulmonary veins carry oxygenated blood to left atrium, from there to left ventricle, and then to rest of the body. And blood collects all the carbon dioxide and again enters the heart. Now in the whole procedure, you see whole of the blood crosses heart twice, once as deoxygenated blood and once as oxygenated blood. This type of blood circulation is known as double circulation. The last topic for today is blood pressure. Our blood pressure is taken into two phases. Two values are written. Like in normal adult, blood pressure is 120 by 80 millimeters of mercury. The upper value is when the heart is under contraction. Now when the heart is under contraction, it means that blood is flowing under pressure, so it is having a higher value. And the lower, it is also known as systolic blood pressure, and the lower value is when the heart is under relaxed state, that is diastole. So this lower value refers to as the diastolic blood pressure. Here is a list given below of the normal blood pressure and what are hypertensive, crisis, hypertension stage 2. Hypertension means when the blood pressure is above the normal values. Next is how we can take our pulse rate. The pulse rate also varies with age. It is very simple. You place your two fingers on your wrist just below your thumb, and you can feel the pulse. Now do one thing, make a chart of your family members and count the pulse rate per minute. That is all for today.
In the next video, we'll study about excretion in plants and animals. Book pages covered and in between questions will be uploaded on the school website. Thank you. Have a nice day.